Great, awesome. Nice to meet you guys. Now let me tell you a couple of things about what I'm here for. I'm here to design a free course for you guys, for those who want to reach the level of B2. So I suppose that you are all intermediate, and I'm going to help you boost your English so that by the end of the course you can either do an exam of B2 like FIRST or IELTS or TOEFL, and yeah, I would be really happy if you do that. And my second objective is to create a community of English learners and help you reach your goals, and I'm going to do that through Twitch, YouTube, and Zoom. On Zoom I organize some speaking classes of different levels, so if you're interested in that, you know how to contact me. There is a question in the chat box: what English is better for you, American or British? I like saying that things are not better or worse, they are just different. Since I lived in the US, American English sounds a little bit more natural to my ear, and it's easier for me to speak with an American accent, because British English has a quite complicated phonetical system, so I would say American English is easier to pick up if you're a foreigner. Okay, and let me tell you some things about the contents of the course that I'm designing for you guys. Throughout the course we're gonna see all the 12 tenses of English. I know that a lot of languages don't have so many tenses, but English is an absolutely rich language when it comes to grammar. Modal verbs, passive voice, passive causative, lots of conditionals, there are 4 of them, phrasal verbs, relative clauses, and other things. You can see that in the list. And it's also really important that at the level of B2, you should be comfortable talking about the following topics. Not in the pre-intermediate kind of style, but you have to sound quite academic, you have to sound quite formal and quite fluent when you talk about the following topics. These are traveling, education, work, money, time, hobbies and free time. That is the topic that we actually discussed last Saturday, and today we will also dedicate some time to that. Health, food, relationships, and some others. So yeah, last Saturday we did a quiz about leisure activities, and you guys said that you had fun doing it, so today we will do the same but with other activities. So the questions are: what are these unusual leisure activities called? I'm going to send you a link in the chat right here. Click on it, create an account. No, don't create an account. Sign in with any name you want, and I'm gonna see you in the system. There are some things in the chat. So while you're clicking on the link, I'm going to look through the chat. Paul is sure. One comment has been deleted. Hi Iniesta, BG Iniesta. Good luck with the classes. Yeah, thank you very much. So I see that we already have a couple of people in the quiz. How many more are joining? Let's wait for a few more minutes. There are going to be 10 questions. There will be an image of an activity and there will be a question. So how do you call this activity in English? And those activities are quite unusual hobbies. So whenever you think of a hobby, it's usually reading, ice skating, watching movies, but these activities are going to be a little bit unusual. How can you say my name in English? Red Romantico. I don't know what your real name is. So, all right, we've got some people in the quiz. I'm going to start the game. Here comes the first question. You've got 20 seconds to answer each question. So let's see what you've got here. Darlot, you were the fastest. So somebody said taking selfies. Taking photos is also appropriate. Narcissism was quite a sarcastic option to choose from. But yeah, taking photos would be appropriate, but this is more specific. He is taking selfies. Number 2, let's go ahead and test your vocabulary with this one. What's this activity called? Hi, Usamareo. If you guys still haven't joined the quiz, there is a link up above. You can click on it and do the quiz with us. So, Darlot, you're fast again. Dog washing. So obviously you wash a dog, but here we see a man doing that not in the bathtub, but there is a stand, so the dog is on the table. Dog brushing is also appropriate, but it's a more specific name of this activity. Dog grooming. Exactly, Osamareo. Very good. So grooming in general is like taking care of your appearance. And apparently nowadays there are a lot of people who spend a lot of money and time on grooming their poor dogs. They do that weekly in order to bring them to shows and contests or competitions. Let's move on to the next one. Oh yes, good job, Romantico. What's this activity called? All done. You guys are faster than 20 seconds. Carl Smarty, you're second. Good job. Okay, so a bunch of you know that this is doodling. Doodling means drawing pointlessly. Imagine you're talking on the phone with somebody, you're bored because they are repeating themselves over and over again. You just take a pen or a pencil and you start drawing pointlessly. That is doodling. Painting is done with a brush and with paints. Drawer is actually a part of a furniture. You might want to check that online. Drawer. You guys are asking me how can you participate. There is a link in the chat. Can you try to find it? Or I'll do that. 1 second. Here we go. So 2 of you have answered, 3 of you. Let's see. Okay, G Darlot, again, you are in the lead. So let me check, I don't remember what it is. So, here we have a draw. 2-2. Anyone else has any other guesses? Could you write that in the chat? What is this activity called? What is she doing? You might have to turn your head a little bit in order to see what she's doing. Is this calligraphy or designing? Designing means, you might be a web designer when you design a web page, or you might design a building, right? If you pair up with an architect, then you can make a beautiful house or a beautiful building. Calligraphy is exactly this. This is when you write words in a really beautiful way. Another activity is called lettering. So the right answer is calligraphy. It's not designing. Let's move on to the next question. What is this activity called? We have 10 people participating here. Great. Catan. Honestly, I don't know how to play Catan. A lot of friends of mine have tried teaching me how to play it, but I'm hopeless at it. So, what is this activity called? Board game. Exactly, it is a board game because you need a special board for it. It would have been a table game if there was no necessity of putting a board. So a table game could be playing cards, playing poker, because you don't really need a board for it, like Monopoly. Okay? Next question. Good job. How do you call this? These are some strange answers, right? DIY, LOL, making something, HRU. WTF. Right. Okay. Now we're gonna see the right answer. Darlot, you're nailing it. Today you are the leader. Very good. 5 of you know that it's DIY. What does DIY stand for? Will you guys impress me through the chat box? What does DIY stand for? Making something is also a good answer, but there is a more specific answer. HRU, no. So DIY actually stands for do it yourself. Do it yourself. So I believe that was the last, no. Now we're gonna do a few more questions. So DIY, do it yourself. Let's move on. What is this? Good job. So, all right, it's true, this thing is called a remote control. But remember, the topic we have today is leisure time activities. So the answer should be an activity. Watching, but watching what? Watching is just a physical action we do, like I watch a movie or I watch birds. But binge watching is actually the right answer. When you binge watch something, you watch something non-stop for many days, many hours in a row. Does anybody binge watch Netflix? You can also binge read something, that is read endlessly. Or you can also binge eat something, that is when you eat non-stop for some time. So yeah, you get a bit obsessed with a certain activity. Next question. This is soap. Some people have a hobby of let's see. Soap carving is the right answer. Soup carving, no, because you see there is a misspelling error. Soup is the food. Crafting is usually like doing crafts, usually with paper. So this is soap carving. And in fact, you can also carve a pumpkin for Halloween, right? When you when you carve a face in the pumpkin. Let's do the next question and I'll read the chat meanwhile. The picture was tricky. You remind me of my English teacher. Binge watch is not to surf around the channels. It is to watch a TV show for too many hours in a row. that it kind of affects your sleeping, it affects how often you eat. So binge watching is to watch something non-stop, specifically a show. So yeah, this is journaling. Exactly. Writing is not specific enough. Writing could be writing poems, writing books. Posing, you pose for a photo, right? So when someone takes a photo of you, you pose in order to look good or attractive. So this activity is called journaling. Does anyone journal on a daily basis? This is the last question. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm going to close this and I'm going to go back to the presentation. So good job, you guys. Thank you for your active participation in the quiz, and I hope that you learned some vocabulary here. Somebody's saying, I am binge watching Succession nowadays. It's a great HBO TV show. Good job. I've heard about Succession. Soap carving, yes. I like the sound when I guess. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know what sound it makes. It's because my microphone is plugged to the computer and I cannot hear anything apart from my voice. So now we're going to do a little bit of grammar, because it's not always about fun and games and entertainment. If you want to improve your English, you need to study a bit of grammar. So on Saturday, in our first lesson, we discussed present simple, present continuous. I suppose there wasn't much new material for you. It was mostly like revision, because you guys are already intermediate. So it means that you are quite comfortable using present simple and present continuous. And we also talked a little bit about state verbs. So they are the verbs that, I would say, yeah, the best way to put it is that state verbs are not usually used in present continuous, because they describe the condition or the state we're in. So you cannot say, for example, I am thinking you are a good person. It should be, I think you're a good person. Or you cannot say, I'm not understanding you. You should say, I don't understand you. So use these state verbs in present simple. However, there are some verbs that can be both stative and active. In other words, both. They can be both used in present simple and present continuous. Let's talk about these ones, because they are usually the ones that cause a lot of trouble for non-native speakers. So the verb to be, you use it in present simple. For example, he is a doctor. But you can also use be with ing if you're talking about someone acting in a certain way. For example, he is being annoying. Could you write an example or two in the chat box with being? Try to describe somebody right now. For example, my dog is being loud and it's making me angry. So try to make a sentence and write it in the chat box. Use be with ing. There is a question. Can I ask you? Ask me what? I'm quite open. I respond to all the questions. Is the first lesson uploaded so that we can rewatch it? I still haven't gotten around to editing 1 hour of streaming. I'm a little bit self-critical and I want to edit some stuff from there. So I will upload it. Okay, so there is a good example here. My girlfriend is being noisy and I can't take a nap. This is exactly how you can use be in present continuous. He's being so weird the last few days. Since it is the last few days, it should be present continuous. He has been weird the last few days, but don't worry about it. In fact, today we're going to talk about present perfect. It's because what you're saying has the connection with the past. So that's why I corrected you. Okay, we also have the verb to have that you can use in present simple and present continuous. For example, I have a cat. This is something that I generally have, right? Or I have a mother, I have a computer, but you can say I am having a shower or I'm having a bath. In the chat box, write a couple of examples with have-ing. Somebody could say, we are having an interesting talk, right? Or I am having a sandwich for breakfast right now. So write an example or two in the chat box and we can move to see. So I see something is used in present simple because this is our physical ability. I can see well, or I see your parents, right? Or I see the sky. It can be anything. But you could also say I am seeing something, meaning I am dating. I am seeing Michael. It means that Michael is my boyfriend. I'm seeing Michael. Or I am seeing the dentist tomorrow. It means that I have an appointment with the dentist. So somebody's saying in the chat, I've had a good day. Great, I have had a good day. This is a good present perfect sentence. So you use them in present continuous when you want to emphasize. That's a good question. You use these verbs in present continuous when you give a different meaning to the verb, because you can use these verbs in present simple. They have one meaning, but you can use them in present continuous and the meaning changes a little bit. And I'm trying to show it to you through examples. But if something is unclear, you could also send me a message in the chat box. I'm having a haircut. Okay, that's good. It means that now you're sitting at the hair salon and they are cutting your hair. Great. I'm having a really bad headache right now. Great, you can say that. Although it would be better, I have a really bad headache, because it's something that you have, not what you're doing. Because usually we use I am having something when we are doing the action. For example, I am having a shower. I'm physically doing it. Or we are having a conversation. We're physically doing it. But usually we say I have a headache, I have a stomachache. I'm having a guitar. You should say I'm having a guitar lesson right now, because it's an activity that you are doing. But I have a guitar. Something like, Maria, what do you have at home? I have a guitar, I have a piano, I have a cat and a dog. These are the things that you possess or that belong to you. I understand it better now. Good job. Okay, I'm having an English lesson now. Exactly. So we have discussed be, have, see. Now let's talk about look. This is a good example. It looks very tasty. Exactly. Or she looks beautiful. That looks fantastic. In general. Not at the moment, but in general. But I am looking at the screen. You are looking at me. You're doing the action. I think it's quite clear, right? Smell is a bit more tricky. So when you talk about food or some things that give off smell, give off, by the way, is a phrasal verb that is used with smells and stuff. You could say this coffee smells really good, or this water doesn't smell like anything. But what I'm doing now is I'm smelling something. For example, you are hanging out the washing and you're smelling the clothes. Oh wow, they smell good. They smell really fresh. What are you doing? You are smelling them. Somebody says it looks very tasty. Okay, you look very nice, thank you. And the roses smell very good. Yeah, this is a good example. And the next verb that we should discuss is taste. So again, if something tastes good, you use present simple. This pizza tastes amazing. The soup yesterday tasted pretty bad. But what are you doing now? I am tasting this salad. I am actually doing the action and I'm tasting it. Could you write an example with either smell or taste? And I will see if I can correct you. There's a message from Mariam. Hi everybody, so sorry to join late. No worries, we're happy to see you. So we're talking about stative and active verbs that can be both stative and active. So while you're writing your examples, I am going to talk to you about think. So when you talk to somebody about your beliefs or your opinions, you use think in present simple. I think Spain is a wonderful country. I don't think you are right, or we think this is bad. So think in general is used in present simple, but you can use think in present continuous when you are actually thinking about something right now. For example, what are you thinking about? You look really confused. But yeah, in general, use think in present simple. I was in the middle of another life. The culinary critic tastes the concurrent's food. Okay, you could use that in present simple if you want to say, if you say that he does it on a daily basis or if he does it weekly. But if you want to say that he's tasting the food right now, then it should be present continuous. The culinary critic is tasting something right now. All B1 classes are like that. Okay, great. If it's true, I'm more than happy to read that. I think you're lying to me. Yes. At first I felt really confused. I was like, what am I lying to you about? But it's a good example. Good job. I'm thinking about going to the cinema today because I haven't watched a movie in ages. Yeah, because we're living in the coronavirus pandemic, so yeah, no movies. The verb feel, it's the same as think. So I feel this is great, or I feel he's lying. Do you feel they are nice people? So feel can also be used as think. But I am feeling some pain in my chest, or I'm feeling discomfort in my head. So you might feel something in general, means have opinions about something, or you can be feeling in a certain way. The verb weigh. This was something that somebody asked me last Saturday. So the verb weigh means to see how many kilos something weighs. And I see some messages in the chat and I get a bit distracted, sorry. True, this is the right way to learn English. I feel sad, I failed the English exam. Oh no, what exam was it? Good luck with the retake exam. So yeah, for example, my dad weighs 100 kilograms. This is his general weight. But I'm at the supermarket right now and I am weighing these oranges to see how much they weigh. So yeah, that is the difference in meaning between weigh and weighing. And the last one is measure. Measure can be used in present simple when you talk about how many centimeters or meters something is. For example, this table measures 2 meters. But what are you doing now? I am measuring the length of the book. Why would I do that? I mean, why would somebody measure the length of the book? But yeah, something measures. That is the characteristic of an object in general. And measuring would be, I'm doing that at the moment. So have you got any questions about stative and active verbs? Because in lower levels, teachers don't usually spend so much time on explaining to the students the differences between active and stative verbs, and they tend to make lots of mistakes. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to read the messages. Can I go to the toilet? Anytime. Just please don't take the laptop with you there. The ruler measures 15 centimeters. The ruler measures 15 centimeters because we use measure as a verb. You can also use it as a noun, but the topic today is verbs. Okay, we will do a really quick grammar checkup. This is going to be present simple, present continuous. It's going to be super easy, so let's just go pretty fast with it. In the chat box, write down number 1, blah, blah, blah. Number 2, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to see how well you understand these two tenses so that we can move on. Wonderful. It will give me a few seconds to drink some water. Good luck with the test. You've got a few minutes. Okay, we've got an answer for number 1. In Catalonia, people speak at least 2 languages. It's a general truth. Just like people in Iceland speak Icelandic. And really good English too. Number 2. Has. You can't see Michael, he has a shower. He is having, actually. That's right, Carlos DB024. What is he doing at the moment? He is having or he's taking a shower. If you say that Michael has a shower, it just means that he owns a shower cabin. But here we want to say that Michael is busy, you cannot talk to him. He is taking a shower. Number 3, what are you doing tonight? That's right. That's right, Carlos. Mariam, I see that you chose do you do. Tonight means today in the evening. You're talking about a plan in the near future. So that's why we use present continuous. Who are you seeing tonight? Where are you going tonight? What are you doing tonight? Number 4. Thinks, that's right, nobody thinks Real Madrid will win this match. I'm not really a fan of football, just saying. It was the first thing that sprang to my mind. Nobody thinks, exactly, because this is their belief. It is in general. Number 5, is anyone texting the answer for 5? Exactly, Zades 7. What are you thinking about? I see your face and you look worried, you look confused. So what are you thinking about? What is on your mind? I'm not a Barcelona supporter either. Number 6. Are disappearing. Yeah, very good. So rainforests are disappearing because I'm sorry. I felt funny, I guess, when I was typing it, because of the human activity. So this is a tendency. This is something that we are observing, we are witnessing. For example, coronavirus is spreading these days. Rainforests are disappearing. You can use present continuous to talk about changes that we are witnessing. Okay, very good. Greetings from Forum Cars. Greetings to you too. Happy to see you guys. Now we're going to move to another grammar point, which is present perfect. It is something that exists in the Spanish language, so it was quite easy for me to learn this grammar point in the Spanish language because it came naturally to me. So we also have some people from other countries, not necessarily Spaniards, and for you guys, present perfect might be a little bit more confusing because maybe you don't have this tense in your language. We basically use it to talk about things that have some connection with the past, although they are happening in the present. Or these are some past events that the results of which are important in the present. This is too much theory probably, but let's just go step by step. First of all, we need to understand all of these important adverbs. So we have already, still, for, never, before, just, yet, lately, recently, since, ever. Do you understand all of these adverbs? Send me a message in the chat box if there's something you don't understand. But basically, whenever you see a sentence with one of those words, you can be sure that this is present perfect. It could also be present perfect continuous, but we're not looking into that today. It's most likely present perfect if you use these words. For example, I still haven't eaten today. Or I have been a teacher since 2011. Or I have been pretty sick recently. That's not true. Or I haven't done the homework yet. Okay, so you can use these words in the present perfect tense. This is how you structure it basically. This is the form. Affirmative means positive. Negative, you understand. And interrogative, that is a question. So this is how you form a present perfect sentence. I have done something. She has done something. They haven't done something. And the question would be, have they done? Or have they eaten? Have you seen? There are lots of tables in general on Google. If there's still something that you don't understand, you can double check yourself with Google Images. You can just write present perfect form, and there will be a table which will explain it to you in more detail. But I thought that since you're quite intermediate already, there wasn't much necessity from my side to go deeper into these explanations. I'm gonna read the chat. Al or oloroto dos. Okay, nice to meet you too. Long live. What is the difference between recently and lately? They are super similar. There isn't much difference. They are synonyms. Teacher, can I go to the toilet? Of course, just please don't take us with you, okay? You can go there for as long as you want. Present perfect. Okay, now let's talk about the use, because the form is pretty easy. This is like mathematics. You just check the formula on Google and you just change the verb accordingly. Now, when do we use present perfect? First of all, we use it when we talk about situations and states that started in the past and are still true. An example. I'm gonna write my example here, but you could also write your example in the chat box, okay? Okay, my example is, I have been quite glad about all the changes. Which means that I was glad and I still am. So this feeling is still true. Any examples in the chat box? Let me take a look. Only in 12 minutes. We will make a break of 5 minutes at 6. To be honest, I'm not thinking about making making breaks, but if you think it's necessary, we could also go on a break. I'm quite used to working for 2 hours non-stop. I hit you until make. Okay, there are some things I don't understand, but I'm really glad to see that you're having fun. Hi, how are you? Sorry I'm late, I was in a meeting. No worries, Leonardo Dantes. Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay. So, no examples of present perfect, but I hope they will be there soon. Yeah, another... Oh, they're coming, yes. I have been learning Chinese for 3 years. This is a good sentence in present perfect continuous. This is even more advanced. I haven't been banned from coaches yet. Okay, congratulations. I haven't been banned either. It's take a break, not make a break, isn't it? You could do both, because you can have a break, you can make a break, although it sounds weird, to be honest. Take a break, make a pause, or you can have a break. 54 viewers. I don't know. The number is really volatile. Sometimes I see 25, sometimes I see 59, sometimes I see 60. I don't know. The second meaning would be completed actions in the past. So when you don't know when something happened. For example, I have been to Rome. I'm not saying when I went there, but I'm just saying that I visited it at some point in the past. So use present perfect when you don't say when you did something. For example, I have done my homework. Exactly. Because if you say that you did it last week, then it would be past simple. I did homework last week. And the third one would be completed actions in the past. The result is important in the present. For example, they have something like they have given me all the necessary medicine and I am well. So I've received certain treatment from a doctor and I'm feeling very well right now. So that is another use of present perfect. I have met her before. Yeah, this is a really good example. I have finished the Nutella jar. Okay, very good. I've done okay. So that was us looking at the form and the use of present perfect. Now we're going to do an interactive quiz. Are you still up for a quiz? I hope so. I'm going to send you the link in the chat. Be sure to click on the link as soon as you see it and write your name, and there will be 10 questions. Something crazy is going on with my computer. Okay, we already have 5 people. I see that there is some banning going on. That's weird. So, let's start. Here we go. So question 1, I'm sorry, you have to fill in the gaps. Is it I forget, I am forgetting, or I have forgotten? So we have 6 incorrect responses and only 1 is correct. So I have forgotten your name. I don't know your name. So it's not correct to say I am forgetting, no, or I forget, that's also incorrect. I have forgotten your name. Number 2, Yeah, good job, Top Hirona. Mariam, this link doesn't work. Try again, try a different browser or try from your phone, because the link seems to be working for other people. Eight seconds. It works fine. Okay, that's good. So, what do we have here? Nine incorrect responses. So, he always did. Most of you write interrupts, has interrupted. Has interrupted. Aha. Un saludo desde Ronda, Málaga. Okay, good job. Un saludo desde España. So, whoops, 1 second. Remember last Saturday I told you that you can use present continuous with always when something annoys you or irritates you. Because the sentence here is, it's unbearable. It means I can't stand it. It's so annoying. So the effect this has on you is quite annoying. That's why it has to be, he is always interrupting me when I talk to him. So one of you knew it. If it's still unclear, I could also go back to explaining it later. Just let me know. But yeah, we studied that on Saturday. ¿Qué nivel es necesario para estas clases? Por lo menos B1, diría yo, o A2. Pero en general vamos a intentar conseguir nivel B2 en final de curso. Sorry if I make mistakes in Spanish. Let's see what answers you've got. So the verb you need to use is set. What did you put? We have 4 correct responses, 6 incorrect. Let's see what you have written. Sets. Sunset. Oh, that's a beautiful word, but it's a noun and we needed a verb. Set in the past. So set is the past form of sit, and we use that about people, not about objects. Los mejores churros. I love churros, but for me it's like a Christmas breakfast, not during the year. Oh, sorry, I clicked on next question. It should be sets with TS at the end, because it's present simple. Okay, continue. Yes, you can go to the toilet. You're the third person that is asking for permission. So, 6 incorrect responses, 5 have done it correctly. I have known them for years. So I still know these people, but I also knew them in the past. The past is related to the present. I have known them for years, or I have spoken English for blah 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 years. That's why it's present perfect. Box, okay. Next question. I'm looking for Maria. Careful, it's a question, so there should be an auxiliary verb at the beginning. Let's see what you have here. G. Darlot, you're nailing it. You are leading again. Have you seen her? So this is present perfect. Have you seen her? Responses view. Did you see her would also be fine. That is also correct. The thing is that we're kind of practicing present tenses here. That's why you're expected to use either present simple or continuous or perfect. Do you see her? No, this is present. Have saw? No. Have seen her. Have you seen her? Next, I think we only have 2 more questions and that's it. We will move on to another part of the lesson. The waitress, the wine now because I've just told her it's too bitter. We've got 19 people taking part in this quiz. Good. Top Hirona, you wrote is tasting, but with 1 T, not 2 T's, right? Tasting. So we've got 4 correct responses. Good job, you guys. The waitress is tasting the wine. So imagine I'm at a restaurant, they bring me the wine, and it is not good. I can say it tastes bad, or it tastes bitter, present simple. But what is the waitress doing at the moment? She is tasting the wine. It's not has tasted because we have now at the moment. Interesting answers here. Okay, the last question. Oh, we have 21 participants now. Interesting. Hello, teacher. Hi. Can you spell the word teacher correctly, please? Ten seconds. Don't worry. I don't punish anybody for arriving late. So, this coffee smells so good. Nice. So it looks like you're really comfortable with the stative verbs now. Good. So that is the end of the quiz. Now I'm going to show you the presentation once again and we'll move on to this part. Have you got any questions about the grammar content we have seen? So what we saw on Saturday and what we have seen today. Present simple, present continuous, present perfect. Any questions? None. All right. Then we're going to move on to the vocabulary part of the lesson. It's probably my favorite one because I love teaching vocabulary. And oftentimes I would say vocabulary is more important than grammar because you cannot explain yourself without using words, but you can explain yourself using words but using them incorrectly. For example, if you don't know how to use a certain tense. So what do you think the topic is about, judging by the photo? I want to hear some of your ideas. Nature. Any other guesses? What is the topic about? Many things. You're very welcome. Many welcomes. Although no one says that. So what is the topic about? Frustration. Traveling. But it's a person, you see? That person, that man is kind of opening himself to the world. Any other guesses? Or something that he has inside, what he has, feelings. Well, we're going to talk about personality traits, traits of character. Okay, so the topic is traits of character. And the question for you is, what do you look for in a friend? So what is important for you? What kind of personality traits does your ideal friend have? For instance, I look for an easygoing person to be my friend. Or in a good friend, I value positivity, a good sense of humor. And it's really important that a friend is optimistic, cheerful, and extroverted, I suppose. So write in the chat box, what do you look for in a friend? You probably don't see the question fully because there is my face. Oops. So the question is, what do you look for in a friend? I would love to hear your ideas. I am not a translator, I'm a teacher. Translating texts is really boring for me, so don't ask me to translate anything, please. I don't do it happily. Okay, so Mariam says that she looks for people that she can trust and those that are optimistic. G. Darlot says, I look for adventures and funny moments. So the best friend for you could be somebody who is adventurous and who can provide you with funny moments. Hi, lives befores. Hardbauer, okay. I look for honesty and loyalty. Yeah, me too. These are crucial things in a friend. Loyal people who really care about you. So I corrected you here. Loyal people who really care about you, because the word people is plural. I like people who like my cooking and my jokes. Nice. That's a good one. Trustworthiness. Nice. So these are some really beautiful things, guys. Now we're going to take it to a different level, and we're going to learn some words that are taught at a higher level. Somebody's saying, I play crush. Okay, I don't see that message anymore. To be honest, I just care about money, so they pay whenever we go out. Kind of sugar friendo. Interesting. So these are some good and bad traits of character. Let's talk about each of them one by one. I expect that you take some notes because these words are probably new for you, at least a bunch of them. So first of all, we will talk a bit about stubborn. Stubborn is a person that that is like a donkey. In English there is even an idiom, you're stubborn like a donkey. It's really difficult to change this person's mind. This person thinks that they are right at all times. So stubborn people are usually difficult to deal with. Then we have humble. Humble is the opposite of a person who boasts or who shows off about a lot of things. A humble person is not proud. They are quite, they're not timid. I would say that they're really confident, but they just don't feel that it's necessary to tell the world that they are so great. So that is humble. We've got the word extroverted. This is probably easy for you guys because it is used in all languages. Extroverted, introverted. This is my assumption, I'm not sure, but Extroverted people are outgoing, active, and they love being with people. Let me read the chat. I think you have a question for me here. Interesting approach to friendship. Introduce me to your friends. Terco como no. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know this expression in Spanish. My Spanish is not perfect. Stubborn, tosudo, ample, modesto. Thank you very much for doing the translation. So then we have the word ambitious. That is the kind of person who sets quite, I would say, ambitious goals for their future. So they want to prosper, they want to succeed, they want to be great at what they're doing. So usually, yeah, they strive for money, or they aspire to be wealthy and influential. Then you have the word cowardly. I really hope you're taking notes, by the way, because after that we will do a short test before we finish our lesson. And these words will be useful for you if you ever have a conversation about the kinds of people there are in the world. A cowardly person is a person that is not so adventurous. In fact, you would use it in a quite negative sense. A cowardly person is afraid of a lot of things. They are afraid to take on challenges. They are afraid to sometimes talk to people. So, cowardly. Then you have the word witty. Ahmed is saying, sorry, I'll go, teacher. I have to go to break my fast. Okay, no worries. Have a wonderful day further, Ahmed, and I'll see you next week or this week. We'll see. The word witty. Witty is a quite positive adjective to use about people. You could say he or she is a very witty person, or you could say that she or he made a witty comment. It means that it's kind of like sarcastic, but in a really smart way. So creative, intelligent, those things all together. Introverted is the opposite of extroverted. So they are people that are a little bit reserved. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are shy or timid, but they like to keep themselves to themselves. The next one is argumentative. A lot of people think that to be argumentative is a good thing, but it is actually the opposite. Somebody who is argumentative likes having fights with people. They love initiating or provoking other people to have fights or disputes. So not a really good friend, that is, if they are argumentative. Then we have the word thoughtful. It's a synonym for considerate. It is somebody who thinks about others or who has others in mind. For example, there's always that friend that comes to your party with some bottles of wine or with some delicious cake, and you can be like, wow, this is so thoughtful of you, or you're so thoughtful, you're so considerate. Then you have the word bossy. Bossy, as you can tell, is something a bit negative. So bossy people like to tell others what to do. It's not cool when your friend is bossy. In fact, I really don't like it. Then you have the word anxious. Here you need to pronounce it with me because as far as I know, a lot of Spanish speakers have a problem of pronouncing this word. It's anxious, from the word anxiety. So anxious people are worried about a lot of things. They think that something bad is going to happen. Reliable. In fact, I saw that some of you guys have written in the chat box that this is what you value in a friend, that they are reliable, loyal, or faithful, or trustworthy. So reliable is a good synonym for that. Charismatic. This is something about your energy, about how you come across in a crowd, that you are kind of attractive, you make it easy for people to approach you, and it's easy to communicate with you in general. If you're charismatic, you give off those vibes and people just find you attractive in a way. Then you have the word sly. I hope you're writing these words down, right? We have the word sly. We usually say sly as a fox. So sly people, it's negative. They kind of manipulate you in smart ways. So someone who might outwin others in some dirty ways. That is sly. And the last one, and it's probably my favorite adjective of all, easygoing. This is what I value in people in general. When it's really easy to hit it off with them, when it's easy to make friends with them and get along easily. So easygoing people are easy to talk with or to deal with. I don't understand sly. Sly, it's not a very easy adjective to explain, but when somebody manipulates you in a way that you don't understand, they are sly. I don't know if that makes sense. Sly, is this here? So yeah, sly astuto, yes, that's right. Okay, so these were some adjectives. Now, I didn't post it on the YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you very much for your feedback. I am actually recording this lesson, and if technology doesn't disappoint me at the end of this lesson, I will post it on YouTube. Astuto, okay? Era malo, no bueno. Well, you can be sly in a good way, but you could also be sly in a bad way. It depends on the context, depends on a situation. Basically, yeah, if you're sly, you know how to take advantage of certain people or of certain situations. Okay, so the question for you here is, what are some of your personality traits that you are proud of? For instance, I'm really proud of the fact that I am super easygoing, or that I am, let's say, extroverted. So write it down in the chat box. Write a couple of sentences if you want, or some adjectives about your personality. So what are you proud of? Sablo todo, I don't know this word. Malparido, I think that's a bad word. I'm proud of my flexibility, committing to rules in a friendship. Nice, wonderful. Flexibility is really important, I agree. My doggy wants to get in here. Nice pronunciation, thank you very much. I picked up my American accent when I was living in the United States when I was a young girl, but I'm living in Spain, so I'm not living in an English-speaking country anymore. Sabe todo? Know-it-all. Know-it-all and sly are not the same though. So the next question for you is there anything about your personality that you'd like to change? You could say that maybe you are bossy sometimes and you would like to change that. Or you're stubborn and some friends complain about that. So is there anything about your personality that you would like to change? In my case, let me think. I think that I would like to be less flexible. Sometimes I'm too flexible and I adapt to people, to certain situations, and sometimes I just shouldn't. Any other ideas, guys? Is there anything about your personality that you would like to change? I would like to be more extroverted in some situations, like at job interviews. Very good. I agree. The job interview is that place where you have to sell yourself in the best possible way, and being extroverted helps. Also, being sly helps in a situation like this. Okay, any other ideas? Is there anything about your personality that you would like to change? It's not a session with a psychologist or anything. You don't have to tell me about your traumas, but I would be really happy if you could practice some of the language, like John or John learning. Mariam, yes, I'm gonna change not to be shy, to tell no to some from my friends. Okay, so you're going to be less shy. You're going to try to be more open or outgoing, and to say no to some requests from friends, right? So like me, sometimes I'm too flexible and I say yes to everything. Okay, so now we're going to do the last activity of the day, which is guess the word. I'm going to tell you the definition of a word, and I would like you to write the word in the chat box. For example, a person that is really open and likes to talk to others. What kind of person is that from this list? So it's a person that is open and likes to talk to everybody. Easygoing or extroverted? Exactly, these two are wonderful. They fit the definition. The next one is, it's a person that is easily frightened or scared and avoids difficult situations or avoids adventurous situations. Cowardly, that's right. A cowardly person is easily scared. Shy would also be fine in general. Anxious, yeah, but do anxious people feel fear? I wonder if they feel fear or worry. I'm not sure. I'm not a psychologist, but cowardly is what I wanted you to write. Okay. The next one is an adjective. That means that it's a person who can be funny, but in a clever way. Somebody who is intelligent, someone who knows how to use the language in a way that they sound funny and super smart. Witty, yeah, that's right. Witty. The next one is it's a person that likes to tell others what to do. Not in a work environment, but at home. Bossy, yes. The next one is, it is a person who's got a really strong desire or aspiration to be successful, rich, influential. Ambitious, yes. Stubborn. I wonder if you're being funny or you think it's stubborn. Ambitious, yes, very good. It's a person that attracts others, just energetically, I would say. Attracts others, knows how to speak in public. A lot of politicians are like this. They inspire others by personal qualities. Okay, the word I'm explaining is actually charismatic. So maybe I didn't do a good job explaining this word to you. The word charisma is something that is in you, but it's like a magnet for others. So a lot of politicians, when they talk in public, you look at them and you're like, wow, this person, for example, is not that intelligent, but they have all that energy and they are attracting me in a way. So that is charismatic. So they have charisma. Okay. The next word would be, it is a person that has some hidden intentions, who could be a bit manipulative and can act unfairly. I see the right word already. Pedro Sanchez in a nutshell. I would say Pedro Sanchez is extremely charismatic. A lot of friends of mine from the United States who don't understand Spanish, but they just listen to his speeches and they're like, wow, he's so charismatic. Like, we're sure he's a wonderful politician just by the charisma that he has when he's on TV. So yeah, I was explaining the word sly to you. They are clever at deceiving people or manipulating others. Okay, the next adjective, it's a person who likes to start fights or disputes with other people. Argumentative, yeah, that's right. I think that charismatic fits with Pablo Iglesias. Okay, good point, good point. So yeah, argumentative people love quarreling, or they love getting into fights with others. Okay, the next adjective is, it's a person that has a lot of other things in mind. They might be really kind in certain situations. They try not to upset others. They remember what other people want. Not so easygoing. So this person thinks about others. This person is really considerate. Remember the synonym for considerate from this list? Yeah, auxilio judicial, thoughtful. Exactly. So someone who is thoughtful tries not to upset others, keeps in mind what other people want, and they can, for example, bring a cake to your birthday party. They can bring balloons to your birthday party because they know that it will improve your mood. They are thoughtful. The next word is they behave in a way that shows that they are okay, I'll just start over. It's a kind of person who thinks that their opinion is the correct one, and it's really difficult to talk them into thinking about other things. They think they're right. They are unwilling to change their mind. Exactly. The word is stubborn. And the last word is, this person is not proud and they don't think that they're better than others. They don't think that they're better than others. Humble, yes. Good job. So that was the activity that I wanted us to do. I really hope that you will keep these words in your mind and you will use them in the future. Now, do you want to ask me anything about the content of today's lesson? Grammar, vocabulary, maybe about the future lessons? I would say that everything that I've prepared for you guys for today, I've done it. and I would say that you've been quite active. We have revised grammar. We have done a couple of tests. We've learned new vocabulary. I feel pretty satisfied. So it was a great activity. Thank you. It was great food for the brain. Awesome. When is the next lesson going to be? So the schedule that I will try to stick to is Tuesdays and Saturdays, but this Saturday I'm going to a different city because my friend is getting married. So on this day I cannot be giving you class. So I'm probably going to be live this Thursday at 5 p.m. Yeah, this is like 99% definite. I learned some new words. For example, I used to say polite instead of thoughtful. Yeah, politeness in general is like courtesy. It's more about the manner, your manners in general, the way you speak to others, that is polite. So nice. Okay, that would be great. Congrats to your friends. Thank you very much. They have been postponing the wedding for many months because of the pandemic, but finally the restrictions are lifted, slowly lifted. Have you considered using Discord instead of Twitch to make it more interactive for the students? Hi Leonardo Dantes, can you tell me what Discord is? I'm kind of getting out of my cave of being a quiet conservative teacher, just working in academies and at home and on Skype. So I'm kind of entering the new world of digital English, I would say. So I discovered Twitch not long ago. In fact, somebody recommended it to me. And I don't know what Discord is. If there is any way that I could make these lessons more interactive, I would definitely do it. Because I think I would also feel much more rewarded if I saw people's faces, or if I saw it's a social platform where you can use voice chats. Nice. You see, I've got a pen right here and I'm going to take a note. Discord. So I chose Twitch, for instance, because the quality seems to be great and there is a possibility of creating a community, and there is a chat, and it's really easy for me to, share the screen, show you videos, show you the presentation. But it's pretty sad that I cannot hear you and I cannot see you. So that's why I think this is a great way. Discord can be quite difficult if someone goes in and makes jokes. I see. So if there are trolls. Yeah, I've got no immunity, unfortunately, against trolls. At least here's only text and I can ignore them and of course listen to them. Right, okay, I'm going to do my research. I promise that to you. I'm going to do my research. I'll talk to some friends of mine who are technical geniuses and see what they say. That's true, it can slow down classes, or you can make silent channels where only you can speak. Okay, these are wonderful ideas. I'll take a look at it. Last Saturday, someone also told me, Dee, why don't you use polls on Twitch? I was like, what? There are polls on Twitch? So, a new day, a new learning, as I say. So, there is still a lot that I don't know about these platforms. I think it's possible to combine Twitch and Discord. Awesome. By the way, if you want to also talk to me more privately, meaning if you've got some specific doubts or questions about English, you could join the Telegram chat that I have. It's a platform that I created for my students who can ask me questions about their homework or whatever, and I'm there. I wouldn't say I'm there 24/7, but I check that Telegram channel quite often. Will you upload the presentations? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to upload the streaming on YouTube. Not all of it, but like some parts of it at least. And I can send the presentation to the Telegram chat. Any other questions? Any other comments before we go? What do you think about this format in general? I wonder if you find it productive, interactive enough, if you feel like you're learning, or if you think it's easy, or if you think it's difficult. I really like it. Good. Okay. It's awesome. What a nice word that you used. Awesome. Oi, no. Experimenting still. Yeah, as for the exercises, last Saturday, for example, after my first lesson, I sent a PDF file with some exercises for the students to do. You could also find it in the Telegram chat. And I will also upload the answer keys so you can check yourselves. It's interactive with the chat and stuff. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I wish I saw people's faces. It's a bit strange, but it's still more fun for me than making videos for YouTube, because when I make a video lesson for YouTube, it's just me talking to the camera, looking at the wall. But here this is more fun because I see people's reactions. I can do quizzes, see who is fast, see who is slow, see who is engaged. Yeah, it's more fun. All right. If you have no questions, we can wrap up. And I'm gonna see you next Thursday. Next Thursday, which is the 29th of April at 5 p.m. Spanish time, well, Central European time. You could also find me on Instagram if you're interested. It's dteaches as well. There I'm not that active there anymore, but I think I will be. You could also find my YouTube channel, which is called dteaches. That is the reason why I am D-Teacher, because my name is D and because I'm a teacher. In fact, I'm also thinking about changing my YouTube name to D-Teacher, but I'm not sure. I just like that it teaches, but I will create a poll among you guys and you can vote for a better idea. But yeah, connect with me on Telegram, on Instagram, on YouTube, and I'll see you this Thursday. Bye bye everybody, have a wonderful evening further, and don't forget to memorize the new vocabulary you learned today. Bye bye. Ooh, host someone, leave us with someone. Wait, how do I do that? I don't know, this is really new to me. Bye bye people. I see that there is a funny picture. Okay, honestly, I don't know what is hosting somebody and leaving you with other people. If you have some ideas how I could do that, how I could make it possible, send me a message on Instagram or Telegram, and next time I will host somebody and leave you with somebody. Okay, bye bye people. It was wonderful to have you here, and talk to you on Thursday.